In the 1948 war, the Arab League was terrified of the Yishiv's growing economic prosperity while the Jewish community was trying to protect their newly established homeland.
The war between both the Jews and the Arabs started on May 15, 1948, and lasted until March 10, 1949. This war was also known as the First Arab-Israeli War. The war between both sides resulted in a civil war for the territory of Palestine. This was a huge factor for why the war began. The Jews wanted the land for the biblical reasons, while the Arabs wanted the land because they felt that they were the rightful owners of the land.
The Jewish immigration which had intensified during the 1930s and 1940s as a result of the Nazi persecution of European Jews has caused a great deal of conflict between the Zionists and the Arab inhabitants of Palestine. This issue was turned over to the UN in November of 1947, in which they voted in favor of a plan that would separate Palestine into two states, one for the Arabs and other for the Jews. This plan was called the Partition Plan. The Yishuv economy obviously was growing for the eyes of the Arabs, which terrified them. They did not want to be minority compared to their greater success.
The partition plan offered the Arabs only 32% of the newly established land, while offering the Jews 56%. Because of this, the Arabs had no other choice but to fight against the Jews and their population and economic expansion. The partition plan brought a balance of peace and happiness for the Jews, though it was later counterbalanced by the Arabs' hatred and disaffection for them. The Jews were threatened. Their homeland could be taken away from them, which influenced them to break out from their tranquil state and revolt against the Arabs. In response to the bombs being set off in Jewish neighborhoods and gunshots firing at innocent Jewish civilians, car bombs were set off in Palestinian areas against the Arabs, and villages were raided and slaughtered by the Haganah. Indefensible crimes were committed by both the Arabs and the Jews, which ultimately intensified the hatred they shared. Both parties had different reasons to get involved. The Arabs wanted the Suez Canal and feared the Yishuv's success and wealth, while the Jews wanted to protect Palestine as their national homeland.